The ETF is here, so how can I lose on my $1 million trade? This is what I'm going to be talking about in today's episode, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. It's really going to be important information. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Davinci Jeremy. You know how I do. Today, I'm 100% in the pipe, 5x5. Oh, I hope you're doing well with this ETF news breaking. Now that we have the ETF, what is going to happen with Bitcoin? How is this going to affect the Bitcoin price? Are we just going to see an explosion here and it'll just keep going up forever and ever and ever? Oh, man. Or will we see a dump because, hey, you buy the rumor, sell the news? We're going to be talking about that in today's episode, and also some concerns of mine about that ETF. We're going to be talking about some of my concerns. And I did some tweets on that, my concern, and I'm going to be bringing up Twitter and right now so that we can have that ready, or X actually. It's no longer called Twitter, it's called X. All right, let's get on with the news. But before we do, if you're interested in trading, you could do so at bybit.davincej15.com or 2bit.davincej15.com. Links are in the description below, but let's just get on with the news. The US SEC approved Bitcoin ETFs in the watershed for crypto market. Nice. Everybody's excited, of course, because we all saw this. We're all anticipating this yesterday. We're watching this with bated breath. The U.S. securities regulator on Wednesday approved the first U.S. listed exchange traded funds ETFs to track Bitcoin in a watershed for the world's largest cryptocurrency in the broad crypto industry. Yes. Wow, this is a game-changing situation. My only concern is that I would love to see... Oh, damn, what happened to my post? Oh, that's right. The post, I was writing it, and I realized that I wrote the wrong text, and I didn't post it. Oh, well. But anyways, my post was about wanting to see what is the total... There's a lot of different ETFs that were approved here. There's 11 ETFs. I would like to see a total sum of how much Bitcoin all those ETFs own, and naked short selling is the selling of a high risk and unethically dubious financial practice where an investor sells a security, often shares of a stock, without first borrowing the asset, ensuring its availability for a borrowing. The process involves selling shares one does not own and later buying them back to cover the position. Okay, so the sum of those Bitcoins in that they say they have in the iShares, ETFs, whatever, all the ETFs, I want to see them, right? And plus the naked shorted sum is a value we need to see. If they do not have those Bitcoins, if that number adds up to, like, I don't know, 11 million Bitcoin, something shady going on, man. Slim Shady. All right. So how do we know that? Well, because the majority of Bitcoin is outside of ETFs right now. And it will take extreme amount of time, extreme amount of money to get to those crazy numbers. Even just 11 million. Even if we said 7 million, right? Even if we said 5 million, extreme amount of time for that total to equal that much. So that would show that this is a false ETF, right? It is just a paper ETF. It might have some Bitcoin in it. Yes, they're going to have some, but they don't have the amount of Bitcoin they say they have. And that's what I'm expecting in the crypto universe, is this fraud, right? It's normal. And it's normal because, gold ETF is done. They do that in the gold ETF, and they're going to do that here. All right, so let's get on with my short. As you know, I'm planning to do a short here on Bitcoin. This short is going to take place, and the stop loss, obviously, most of you would know where the short's going to take place. And the stop loss is you just don't know where my stop loss is going to be. Well, oh man, I just realized that I have a whole bunch of information here for the stop loss. Oh well, too late. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to be taking the short, and if you're interested in knowing more details about the short, and you can do so by subscribing at davincej15.com. Now, with that said, I don't care if it doesn't come up here, but the odds are it will. Why? Because Bitcoin loves to leave on a blow-off top. But another thing is positive for my trade, my short trade, is that you can see the Bitcoin, although price is moving up, right? Indicators are moving down. What the hell? What the heck? You can see that on even on the you can see from as far back as here, right? When we first took off, we started going higher and higher, but the indicators get lower and lower. And the same can be said about the MACD. Histogram is going lower, indicating that although Bitcoin is moving higher, there's something wrong here. It's not going to, the indicators are saying that this move is coming to an end. The question next is, how can I be incorrect? How can can Bitcoin continue to go up forever and ever, amen, and never break this trend? Just continue up, right? Is the question that you might have, right? And I have several answers to that. One is, unfortunately, Kramer. He's come out to say is Bitcoin's toppy. Why you had to say that? I don't know. Kramer. You're messing with my trade. You're messing with my trade. And the next point of contention is the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance. Ooh, well, I mean, it was looking. I was expecting it. Didn't expect to see it down so much, but it came back up to its trend line, upward trend line, and I thought it was breaking it higher. But hey, the Bitcoin dominance is saying, well, hold your horses. We're still above the support line, right? Which was once resistance, and so we could still make it up to 60%. So with and then of course the ETF approval. This could mean if it's legitimately has to load up in Bitcoin, right? It could of course borrow Bitcoin and steal Bitcoin from Binance, right? Is one way, right? Because the government owns it, so they can fill up those iShares with some cheap over the counter Bitcoin, right? And I'm sure they have other means of filling up the iShares with some over-the-counter Bitcoin instead of, having the market get out of control, which would happen if they actually had to buy it off of the market. So obviously they don't want that to happen. And but that is not the reason why my trade might fail. So what happens if they don't have enough? They've borrowed the Bitcoin from many exchanges, and it's still not enough, right? At gunpoint, and it's still not enough, and it continues. People continue to buy, and that's always a possibility, which could occur, and my trade be blown out. And that's the risk I take. That's the risk you take when you're trading, because there is no absolutes, none, zero. Right, you just have to make several trades, right, based on your previous knowledge, based on knowledge that exists, right, and make sure that your percentage of losses will always allow you to come back and trade again, and that's the key, right? Without being able to come back and trade again, you are making too big of a bet. If you are afraid that you're you're going to lose all your money, then you should be making a trade. If you're using money that you should not be using to make the trade, then you shouldn't make a trade. The trading money should not be your retirement savings. It should be only money you can afford to lose. Okay. And if you want to do trades, you can do so at 2bit.davinci15.com. Lots of bonuses there. So links in the description below. Okay, let's talk about Ethereum. Ethereum has pumped all the way up exactly as predicted, right? I was saying it was probably going to take off, and boom, there it has. We have blasted off with Ethereum. So that means Bitcoin is not too far away. We're at the $2,600 level with Ethereum. And so Bitcoin, although it hasn't done anything yet, it's going to make its move. Let's take a look at Ethereum's long-term chart, the daily, and see if there's any kind of divergence. And yes, there is. You can see it is also doing the same thing. The only thing that's different is that, this move might indicate some strength. But if it fails here, if it stops going up, this indicator will, okay, let me just say that, hey, you know what? You're in trouble. This is not good because we're heading on a downward slope. And you can see even on the MACD is the same thing on the daily. We're on a downward slope. It's a little bit, whoa, damn, this is a very big move in the opposite direction here, but we're still in a downward slope, maybe from this point to this point. But yeah, this is interesting. This has broken the trend with this histogram, but the day is not over. This is a daily. So if this closes down, this histogram will be a lot smaller. So let's see where we are. Oh yeah, exactly. If this comes down, the histogram will also move down as well. So we don't know how this day is going to play out, but you can see that we are outside the Bollinger Band significantly. So yeah, very least a consolidation, maybe a little bit higher, blow off top indication here, and then boom, this thing looks very, very toppy. So yeah, I would look for some shorts on the lower time frame for this asset, because yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to short this thing. Dang, because yeah, it's reaching some of my target areas that I was saying from a long time ago. So there it is. Right. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something today, and yeah, I'm learning something every single day. As I make mistakes, like I didn't think the ETF was going to be approved, but I didn't really think about the pressure that institutional players had on the banking system and the government, and they had them like by the balls and say, hey, we're having this ETF because we're not missing out on the gains, because there's no other way for them to buy into this asset class if during this next bull run that they know is coming. So they're like, yeah, we want part of that. All right. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.